show, Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Price, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Boogie, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is. Your favorite sports show, Gas presents sports for the culture. I am tonight's host, your boy Young Rome 22, as always on all socials. I'm gonna let the fellas introduce themselves, but we got a gang of topics today to get into. I'm gonna start with the bottom left. What is? I didn't even notice what was on that man's head. What is going on? Who are you, sir?
Fuck the New York Giants. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm here to affiliate myself with the Cleveland Browns now. I done got drafted. But it's your boy. It's still New York. The only New York team that's irrelevant in my heart from here on out is the Yankees. But I'm officially a Ohio fan for the Browns.
What you gonna do if they cut Shedeur?
Hey, man, it's not the New York Giants' problem. It's not my problem.
Oh man, this man done switched teams on us. Top left, man. I know you'll never switch teams.
Bro, I don't got that in my heart, Ron. But I seen somebody change teams in real time. That's almost unbelievable, man. If it was anybody but G, I wouldn't believe it. All right. My man drove immediately to lids as soon as the team passed on Shedeur. That's crazy work. Y'all know who it is, man. Price XXV double I, aka Mr. Big Leaguer. Yeah, we got some good topics tonight. We strong on the culture tonight, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good show. We starting off the right way. Last but certainly not least, bottom right.
D-Boogie, man. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Hey, Gasoline AU coach. We starting back up this Thursday. We back in the gym. We live. And, it's been a good week of football, a good week of sports in general. So I'm here. Let's get it.
Yeah, sir. It's been a great week, man. We got a lot of topics to get into. Like I said, from the Shedeur stuff that we already mentioned with G's new fandom. NBA playoffs are going right now. We're also going to get into that Bill Belichick interview with his girlfriend. That was a little weird, but we're going to start with the most trending topic today that we've seen on the internet, and that was the 100v1. If you haven't heard, the internet's buzzing again about 100 people, I'm assuming men, versus a gorilla or a silverback gorilla. I'm not sure the specific gorilla. We can get into the specifics of this. We were talking backstage. Me personally, I don't know if the humans got a chance without any weapons. Apparently, the parameters are no weapons. I'm interested to get everybody's take on this, and I want to know if y'all would join the 100, the field. Would you be out there, or we just here talking? I know I would be on the sideline, but I'm interested to hear what y'all gonna say. Jump ball on this one.
I'm going to start this one real quick, right? Mine is real simple. Your first 15 are fiends. Fiends. I never seen a crackhead lose in life. I done seen a crackhead jump from like second floor, land on his feet, and keep it pushing. Fucked up ankle and all, but keep it pushing. Then you got to throw the YNs. After the YNs, so what is that? I already used 15 fiends. Then I got to throw like at least 20 YNs because YNs be having a heart. Ski mask and everything. So they with the shiesties. And after that, now you gotta throw your athletes. You gotta throw Mike Tyson from the 90s, coked up LT, coked up John Jones. Then who else? Some UFC fighters.
Yeah, you sound like you making a chemistry project over here. You got 15 fiends, 20 YNs, some cocaine.
Some cocaine athlete, because cocaine's a hell of a drug. Who said that shit? Yeah, who said that shit? But besides the point, right? And then I'm gonna be number 100 to come in. Number 100 after everybody's dead. So I use some athletes. You got to use athletes, and we can't. I'm assuming this is all stay bare hands, right? So I'm gonna use Khabib, because Khabib is the only person I know that fought a fucking bear. Oh damn, who else? So I'm using UFC fighters, some boxers. I'm gonna use Canelo because you need punch out power. Someone gotta hit this damn animal in the face. And not for nothing, you gotta throw sacrificial lambs. You gotta throw some ladies. You gotta throw something in there. I'm all about equality up in this bitch. All about equality. You gotta throw equality in there. And if I'm being real reckless, you gotta use people's bones. I'm assuming like this fucking animal's gonna rip limbs apart. So I want old people. Cause you gotta get that tissue. You gotta use bones to stab this shit. And then, like I said, I'm gonna be athlete or entry number 100 out of this whole bullshit. But I'll let you guys go from here.
Yo,
That's
so
crazy. That's crazy.
you got
Throwing the
you got
ladies in the
drug addicts, some YNs. I'm assuming they're underage. So that you got drug addicts, kids, women. Like G just sacrificing everybody. Then you gonna come in at the end and take the credit.
Take all that. So
Just like a dude that would switch fandom like that.
I at least think the casualty and all this shit, 75% injured and dead. 75.
You know what G trying to do? G trying to do it like a wrestling match. When the person already knocked out, you just run in the ring and get the pin real quick. Get your hand raised.
He tag himself in right quick.
That's nasty work. But nah, man, I actually I think G was on to something with his assortment of folks. All right, but I wouldn't put the ladies in there as sacrificial lambs. That's crazy work. I think we can spare the old people too. I mean, they're not gonna help us. But he was on to something with the Fiends. I must give you that. 15 Fiends to open up the round might not be a bad idea. Just get the party started with the Fiends. I kind of like that. But yeah, I think humans, 100 humans beat just about every animal. The only animal I don't think they beat is probably like a polar bear. But everything else, I think humans is wiping out, bro. 100 humans, that's a lot of manpower. A gorilla, we talking about what, 6'5", 400 pounds. It's a pretty large animal. We talk about 5 times the strength of an average human male. And we talking about a strong man too, talking about 315, G. Someone mentioned 315. That gorilla is still about 5 to 10 times stronger than you. Crazy bite force. Yeah, it's gonna be a long night. I think the gorilla easily killing about 10 to 15 people. But strength in numbers, man. A couple people hold. You got 3 or 4 people holding down an arm, another 5 or 6 holding down a leg. And then the rest is gonna go to work on the upper body, man, and try to give it some sort of brain damage with enough blows to the head. I think eventually 100 men would be successful, but we definitely having some casualties. I'd probably say it's 10 to 15 dead, and then you're probably looking at another 30, 35 in near critical condition. It's definitely not coming out unscathed.
So
it's gonna
I
take
got
a
a
long
question.
time to kill
Do
that.
we have a
That's
uniform? Do we
What's
have
that?
a uniform requirement? So like, are men are supposed to wear Timbs?
Well, there you go. I mean, a little steel toe to stomp them out. That might help. But yeah, I don't know, bro. It's gonna
That's
be
not a
tough.
weapon.
And then the other thing too that's underrated about a gorilla, man, is although they're not really built to kill, they are built to take a beating. You know what I'm saying? They built to take a beating for sure. So you're not gonna easily just like affect it. It's gonna take a lot of blows, and I think that's the thing I'm worried about the most is how long it's gonna actually take to kill a silverback.
T, go ahead, jump in.
I mean, I do like the idea of 15 crackheads. Realistically, 100 crackheads would have that gorilla looking like I Am Legend. Like they would be chasing the gorilla. The gorilla will run, and that brings me to my next point. People think I'm joking when I say this. The gorilla is still an animal. It's still a monkey brain. It's still 75, 80 IQ. So it has a little intelligence, but with a little intelligence comes feelings. When anybody with a little bit, you don't need 70 IQ to know 1v100. My odds aren't great. In fact, I don't think that fight goes how people plan. I think the gorilla tries to flee. And I think what happens is the humans kill the gorilla, and there's worldwide outrage. Like, everyone has empathy for this gorilla. I don't think a gorilla is going to destroy 50, 60, 70 guys, even though a gorilla can rip out a small tree from the roots. Like, bench press probably a car, easy. You know what I'm saying? 3,000-4,000 pounds is nothing to a gorilla to lift. But I think 100 of anything coming at you, it's like, bro, if I let 100 hamsters out on an adult male, the man's gonna run. Fear is innate. So 100 humans running at a gorilla. I do not have the gorilla going into attack mode. His natural enemy is only other silverbacks. He's a vegetarian. He's a nice guy at heart, bro. He only fight when he have to. I think 100, and humans have the ability to strategize. And gorilla, you probably could train a gorilla. Now, if there's a trained gorilla, you got them doing burpees and suicides. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But listen, humans are designed to conquer all. They're gonna. I said this in my other group chat, and I think they thought I was joking, but eye gouge, you rip his balls off, you crush his windpipe. I mean, like, those things feel pain. So if G's getting choked out like Bart Simpson, if someone comes and can just get one eye to just maim the gorilla, somebody else can get the next eye. Somebody else got to get in there, rip the balls off. You know what I'm saying? Fight's over. Fight's over. Fight's over. Like, in real life, that's how animals fight in the first place. Like, they go for the throat, they go for the genitals, they try to take you down as quick as possible. I don't think this fight would last as long as people think.
See, this is my counter. You made an excellent point, bro. Like, and you swayed me in some ways, but this is my counter to that. The same way that fear, and I brought this up pre-show, the same way that fear is innate for the gorilla, it's innate for the humans, bro. So you get 100 of them chasing him. He gets backed into a corner. Now he has no choice but to fight. Now, again, once he punches through 2 to 3 motherfuckers, the other 97 are gonna feel that innate fear, bruh. And an eye gouge and ripping the balls out is gonna be a whole lot scarier than you just made it sound. So I'm not the one diving head first for the gorilla's eyes or balls. And I think if you do that, he's gonna protect himself, and you might be, headless.
Well, I don't want to send 100 cowards. You know what I'm saying? I want to send the best of us. All right. I want to send the strongest and the bravest and the toughest. I mean,
everybody picked drug addicts first. So nobody picked the bravest or the toughest. Everybody sacrificed the lowest of the low.
Listen,
and then we got to pick the best humans.
Drug addicts are the lowest of the low, man. Those people help you save money.
Man.
But why are we assuming the best humans but the worst gorilla? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we send in the best human, I'm going to assume we getting the best version of this gorilla as well. So it's Kong level of silverbacks. All right, we're not going against Mighty Joe Young nice ass. All right, it's Kong out there, bro. So I don't think it's going to be all that easy. Spiritual argument. Okay, Scrub saying gorilla wins easy. I feel you, but I don't know if it's easy. I think the humans win, but I think the gorilla. I don't think we leave with no casualties. All right, somebody died, bro. Somebody's dying. Like,
a few people, bro. It's gonna be more than one funeral.
it's definitely gonna be some people with broken bones, maybe an arm ripped off. Like,
but you realize, like, if a gorilla palms your head and squeezes, it can kill you.
Like, right. And you find me 99 other people that can watch that and still want to fight, bro.
That's the wild part, bro. It's like, and to T's point, they might not have the wherewithal to actually realize they could just grab someone's head and pop it like a bean. You know what I'm saying? But if they realize that at any moment of that fight, we're assuming the best guerrilla combat possible. Right, when you taking his brute strength and capabilities, it's a wrap for a good 15 to 20 humans, bro. I don't care if you send in all Brock Lesnar's, bro. They getting punished, dog. Like, for sure.
You let me game plan the humans. We're not losing more than 3 people.
Okay. Okay. All right. And that's the other thing, bro. A gorilla, I know y'all, and I know it was a child, right? But I know y'all remember that joke. Was that Harambe when that gorilla grabbed that baby by that leg? Bro, just move that joint so effort. Made that child like a piece of paper, bro. The way it just grabbed it and just come with me. Like, come
Empty
on, bro.
bag.
Just throw it a couple people 20 feet in the air. Like, no, it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah, we're gonna lose more than 3 people, T, bro. Somebody gonna get thrown in the air. You're gonna be looking at him. He gonna punch through you, squeeze another nigga's head. Like, hey, bro, scruff right. It's gonna be 100 casualties, bro.
100.
Like, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, you hear people come back from war, they have PTSD, bro. You're not gonna watch 3 to 4 niggas die and then just be like, go for his balls. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like,
Listen, I got 100 men. I can train 20. You guys are assigned to the balls. You guys are assigned to.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, you gotta. Yo, that's just a wild
Yo,
thing.
what the fuck?
If I said trying to trade 20 is on assignment. Okay.
imagine getting up every day, telling your wife, "Yo, gotta go to work today. I'm training. I'm assigned to the balls. We're gonna fight the gorilla. We're gonna fight the gorilla in 10 days. I gotta get my assignment right."
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
That is
Crazy.
wild.
I'm gonna put it in a different terms. All right. If there's an island and a bridge, and on that island, no resources, it's just one of your loved ones, somebody you love dearly over there, and you got 99 other guys. Are you not going to make it across that bridge to get that person back?
All right, now that you gave the humans our one biggest motivation, I would take the humans in that scenario. If you told me there's like a small child, you got 100 dudes trying to go save the child, yeah.
Listen,
But we still probably losing like 50 to 60 though, bro. Y'all are
we not
bugging.
losing 50. We not losing 50.
Okay.
Oh no, you're not losing 50, but you losing 15 to 20 easy. And another 20, 25 gonna be in critical. I'm talking critical condition, bro.
Like, they're just gonna die. They're gonna die later, bro.
Listen. That's why you got to train them, because if you see one of your boys go down, you can't. It's no time to be a medic, or you're going to need a medic. We got to keep rushing them.
But there's no training or an ass whooping from a gorilla, bro. Like once that joint that beats on the chest one time, bro, and people hear that hollow chest, but hey, focus out, bro. Like I'm with Rome, bro.
We got to beat our chest right back.
Yeah, all right.
Choky.
The gorilla
You
can
see Planet of the Apes
so loud that it makes a noise that you can hear from hundreds of feet away. That's how strong that joint is.
Bro, we take our kids to see them in cages and laugh at them. I'm not losing to no monkey.
I feel you there.
I respect
bro,
that.
and you know why we wouldn't lose to a monkey, bro? Because if we're being like, it's like I said in the pre-show, bro. Once a good 15 to 20 people die, somebody's picking up a stick, a rock, some type. Like, bro, there's no way 100 humans fight to the death fairly with a gorilla, bro. There's no way.
I mean, I'd just be really worried about that gorilla biting you, man. Them fangs, and a gorilla bite harder than most animals, so.
Yeah, and then you want me to
that's the last thing it's even trying to do to you, for real. Like that's not even like it's gonna give you them pause before it even thinks about biting you. That's the thing, like. So it's gonna bite you when you go for the balls. That's when you're getting bit.
Right.
Once you get,
you done enraged it.
It's over now, bro. Like,
and then you want to you want to go for the eyes while he's chewing on your homie. Like, I don't know, bro. It's a lot to process.
It's the only way. You have to wound them. You can't punch them, right? Because a gorilla can take a gorilla punch. So
right.
We can't, like, what's our punches gonna do? The only chance we have is to mortally wound them. Like,
right, I don't know. I'd have to, I wouldn't be shocked if a gorilla just so ready for combat that the junk got pebble-sized balls, bro. I really wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if the target there is nothing for you to even go at, bro. I wouldn't be shocked. Like, you might be assed out with your whole plan right now, bro.
Really, bro. You have niggas training for weeks. They're gonna get there to target.
You can't get out there.
The target's not even there, bro.
Like, he set us up, bro. No, I'm just saying, dog. I think a gorilla kind of made for this, bro. I don't know, bro. Yeah, gorilla taking out 15, 20 humans, but I think we win.
Oh man, nah, the internet is crazy, bro. Like I said earlier, I feel like this topic comes up every like 3 to 4 years. I feel like I've heard this before, but it's funny every time, man. So any other crazy takes on the 1v 1v 100?
I don't know, bro. It makes me think about like I ain't gonna lie. I think we've had similar conversations in the past, but it makes me think about other 1v somethings, right? Because now I'm thinking like, what other animal would go crazy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or then like T said, one man versus 100 hamsters, right? And I always had this when I had this debate with people back in the day. Like, how many 12-year-olds would it take to take you out? You know what I'm saying? As a grown man,
Yeah.
if you had 100 12-year-olds running at you, could you take out? Like
I'm out, bro. I'm
that's
out.
our equivalent to the gorilla versus 100 men, bro. Like 110-year-olds. You feel
I'm
me?
out, bro. I'm not going through 110-year-olds.
You think the 10-year-olds taking you out?
I'm dipping, bro. They gonna have to catch me. Yo, and that's the thing. People probably assume like, oh, I could take 110-year-olds. Y'all, we don't know the same 10-year-olds.
But if you don't think one man can take 110-year-olds, I don't know how you think one gorilla can't take 100 men. All right.
I think it can.
Because the 10-year-olds are not trained by me.
There you go.
There you go.
To fight 110-year-olds with a cup? I think not. All right.
Hey, D Money said it might only take 5 10-year-olds. That's crazy.
No,
5 10-year-olds is insane, bro. You can't get 5 10-year-olds out the way. I don't know, bro. But they do make 10-year-olds different these days. The man would be bench pressing G weight.
Fuck out of here.
Five 10-year-olds would be a mass casualty event.
really, bro, all you gotta do, the fear thing is the biggest thing, bro. You take out one, the other four not, like, they're not going, like, come on, bro.
But 100
people bow down. Humans naturally bow down, bro.
Bro, 100 of anything. I don't care if it's 100 bees, 100 mosquitoes, 100 crows come at you. You're gone. You might.
I'm gone in every scenario, bro. I'm gone.
Yo, 100 crows come at you and they fly and yo, that's a tough out. It's a tough out.
You might not make it, bro. Where am I? Are you in an open field? Because you're cooked.
I think the bee one. Imagine getting stung 100 times.
Like, I don't think 100 crows could take a human out, like at least like a grown man, bro, that got some sort of strength. But you gonna leave that junk looking totally different than you started,
bro. How you gonna fight him?
No more, bro.
You're not. That's a situation where you just gotta escape, bro. You gonna physically beat 100 crows?
Nah, but I'm saying let's just picture a world where you can't escape. You somehow locked.
There's a movie like that.
Space.
What's the name of that movie? Where like the birds were attacking people. There's actually a movie about that.
I think it's called Birds.
Shit,
is it?
Okay, but the birds really got. If the birds didn't have bird brains, they could really do something out here. Think
about an eagle, because the eagle could pick up a deer.
10-year-old 6 feet now, not facts. 10-year-olds definitely be like 6 feet. It's insane now.
All right, yeah, let's keep it pushing, man. We could go for days with the 100v1 scenarios. Now you got me thinking about how I'm gonna take out 100 crows and shit. But Bryce, you got me picturing how I'm gonna make weapons and shit, slingshot them like Bart Simpson or something. Nah, but like I said, man, we got a lot on the docket today, man. So let's get into some sports, or let's kind of get into some sports. Let's keep it a little bit culture here. Let's talk about the Bill Belichick situation here. This is another interesting situation, and I really want to talk about this one because I've had a lot to say about this since the moment I found out he was dating someone damn near half my age. But yeah, they had a little interview the other day. I believe it was on like ABC Nightline or something. Forgive me if I misquoted that. But the interviewer asked her a question asked him a question along the lines of when they met, and she cut him off and said we're not talking about that, which drew a ton of questions online, which to me, I'm like, finally, because these were the questions I was asking since day one when they were walking down the red carpet at the NFL shows and doing all these. Everybody just acting like it was normal, but now everybody wants to question it. Welcome to the party. What are y'all thoughts on the Bill Belichick situation with his 24-year-old girlfriend?
Ain't none of my business.
Now I feel you. You was on it early though, Ro. You was definitely like the first person I heard questioning that whole situation. It seems like, remember about a year or so ago, well, maybe it's a few years now, when the COVID thing was happening, everybody was a clone. Everybody was accused of being a clone. If anybody is a clone right now, it's Bill Belichick, bro. So my man is moving different, bro. This is not the Bill Belichick I grew up with, dog. I don't know what's up with my man. It seemed like in somewhere deep down inside, he's happy. I don't know. He's cracking smiles a little more than he ever has. So I'm gonna just keep wishing the best for him. But that interview was definitely strange, bro. It was real strange how she was just like shutting him, didn't even allow him to answer. And apparently, like some other things happened behind the scenes. Like she stormed out of the interview and expected him to follow her. And he didn't follow. He just kept sitting through the interview. So it's something strange going on there. I wouldn't be surprised if like more and more starts coming out about that over the next year or so. And then we are in a similar situation that we was in, that we was discussing in last week's show. All right, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked there's lawsuits coming down the line. All right, just remember the good mister told you.
Ain't gonna be no lawsuit unless the family is suing her. Let me break this down. This is an old man with a ton of money, and what else are you gonna spend it on? How old is he? 76, 77? How old is Bill?
Something like that. 56, no, 74, 73 or 74.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. All right.
Well, it's not as bad as you thought. It's a 49-year-old. It's 49 years different, bro.
What did you think he was 85? How was he not as bad as you thought?
Yo, the age gap, bro, is older than everybody on this show, bro. This is insane. This is insanity.
Well, what I'm saying is that I feel like at 70, 71, 72, the medication's probably still working for you. You know what I'm saying? The blue pill probably still working for you. Now you get to 78, 79, that dose probably don't work the same. You know what I'm saying? But this is just an old man that probably, all right, he knows this. You got 20 years left tops, right? He just wants to relax and with the young chick. Like everybody, listen, at that age, you're looking for a companion, somebody to talk to. Some people don't want to talk to somebody their age. He want to listen. I'm just being realistic. He knows what she's there for. She knows what she's there for. She's kind of like a high-paid escort. It's like if you buy, it's like giving a escort a 20-year contract. You know, she got a baseball contract. All right. So she got guaranteed money, but it's all coming.
She got that Juan Soto deal.
Yeah, but her guaranteed money coming on the back end. So, but what he also got in that is he got a manager. He got like a team mom for UNC because the fellas gonna like her. They're gonna try their hand. Then he got.
I ain't saying nothing about that. I just won't be surprised if something comes out.
You're making this shit sound so sweet. I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone right now. Listen, this is insanity, bro. Like we're talking about a guy who coaches football still. You're acting like he wants to retire, lay back. Oh, I just got this young girlfriend. I'm an old man with lots of money who's done doing this thing. No, bro, you're still working. You're coaching at a college that she's really the same age as everybody that goes to the damn school. You want her to be the team mom, bro? How you gonna be the team mom? We the same age. You're not the team mom. You the team something else. And that's what he's gonna be in danger of. What happens when the backup quarterback is piping the coach's girl? Like, what are we talking about here, bro? There's and everybody's looking at this from the wrong perspective. Gee, I'm gonna let you get in real quick, but everybody's looking at it from Bill's perspective.
Hypotheticals for you're adding mad wild hypotheticals, super hypotheticals.
I'm telling you what's most likely happening. That's what's most likely happening. We've seen these type of relationships before. We normally see the young girl with the old man outside of sports. Now it's just we see this. Didn't Anna Nicole Smith do the same thing? We've seen this.
But then the fact that she ducked the question on how they met kind of stood out too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, like
Red flag.
that is a red flag.
Like what? Like, bro, if you can't answer how you met, it's because he met you when you were 12, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, but
And
let's
furthermore,
let's
when
take
you
this
were
into
12, he
consideration,
was in
right?
his 60s.
This
Like,
interview,
what are
this
we
interview
talking
was
about?
about his book. The interview wasn't about his personal relationship with this woman, and I think that's what she was trying to keep the interview more into whatever the book was about.
Gee, nobody gives a damn about the book when they get
But
interviewed
then why
by
have the
CBS.
interview then? Because that's the whole point of it. They bought him to have the interview for the
This
book because they were
is
trying to
what
talk
they do
about
on
the
these
book.
interviews. They learn your
Why
man,
is
they learn you
why is
anticipated
she there,
care about
G?
your book, and they
Why
ask
is
you
she
the real
there,
question.
G?
They
Why
were
is she
there
there?
for the book, and like his whole, and she was like, "Yo, she cut the issue because maybe she didn't want nobody to know the information."
She's his manager now. Like he
Yes.
can't speak for himself.
And
No.
clearly he didn't want to. She didn't want to answer. She didn't want him to answer it.
All right, tell me one good reason you can't know why a couple met. Like man,
Because it ain't none of your business.
come on, bro. Come on. That's the thing.
Bro, if it's
That's
none
the
of your
thing.
business, but she's in the room while he's getting interviewed, now you've made it my business because you are in here
No,
on the
because
interview.
she literally is trying to divulge the question. So yeah, don't even answer that. I don't need you
G,
to answer
you
the
saying
question.
it's none of your business. Like when you get a girlfriend, right, bro? Your parents, your peoples don't be like, oh, how did y'all meet? Like that's a normal question, bro.
But
Like
you
G
literally
really be
just
people
said
sitting
ask
on like
that
an A
but
question.
who's
list.
asking it? You're asking a relative to ask it. This is a random stranger. This is somebody
It's
that's in the
Bill
media.
Belichick, bro. You're a Super Bowl winning coach,
No.
bro. You're famous as hell. Like people are in your business.
Nah,
This
G
ain't just
sold,
he's in the
bro.
public eye.
G really
Y'all
thinks she
so
like
y'all
a
so
whole
to the
agent.
media. Y'all just trying to find a freaky reason not to let Shannon Sharp look
Nah.
crazy right now.
Listen.
He's the only old man that got his shit together. He got his pants, whatever they're doing,
Bro,
with their relationship. It is what it is, but there ain't no Shannon Sharp wild freaky deaky shit.
Bro, but
So
24-year-old is
cute.
answering questions for you. You don't have your shit together, bro.
But don't people have
that
publicists
is
for the same reason?
that's 100% you don't have your shit together. The 24-year-old's answering for you.
That's a fact.
Like, what are we talking about here? G thinks she's like some sort of super agent, some sort of like she got his best interest.
She's a
Like,
kid.
absolutely not, bro. Like, what are we talking
I
about?
mean,
But
she's
Man, the
an
fact that we
adult.
even, I don't really give a fuck. I don't know why y'all give a fuck. Because at the end of the day,
Because it's the
he's
topic
happy
on the
doing whatever
show.
he wants to do.
I
And when she's
I
wrong
give
or right, that's up to them to answer it.
I give a fuck because
Because
I
what?
find it completely insane that
Because you couldn't send
anybody
one of
wants
your
to just
whores to go take his money
bat an
back.
eye that somebody's dating somebody 49 years younger than them.
You act
Gee,
like
you
you
can't
got an
even do
uncle that's
that.
trying to get down with a young thing. I know you
Nobody
All right,
got
but
on this show
let's
can
be
do
I know
what
honest.
you're
y'all got
doing
an
right
uncle or
now because
cousin that's
it's
old as shit
impossible.
trying to get
But
down with a
G,
young thing.
G, this is why it's important. This is why it's important to us, G, right? Because one, we sports fans, right? Bill Belichick was sports royalty. All right. We watched him take a crazy fall from grace, going from the coach of the most successful NFL franchise of our generation to now coaching one of the worst D1 football teams of our generation in UNC. All right. So that's a crazy fall from grace right there. Now we watching the second fall from grace. My man who apparently had everything in order, always knew how to duck the media, always knew how to duck the limelight. Now he's in Instagram photos, holding a chick up with his feet. What are we doing, bro? Like, you wondering why we care about this? This is sports royalty. We watching sour itself in real
Yeah,
time.
but
That's what I'm saying.
you're not adding you're not putting the whole picture. First of all, the NFL is this is gonna relate to our later topic. No one wanted to touch him for the simple reason that everybody knew why you couldn't touch Bill. For the same reason why the Patriots had to get rid of him. Because who's gonna fucking oversee anything that Bills does? He made that organization be who it is. Before the Patriots had Bill Belichick, who was the Patriots? No one was talking about the Patriots. Besides that one year they went against the Bears for that Super Bowl. What is it, the
I mean
85
that's
Super Bowl?
Bryce's point, bro.
Come on,
Like
but nah,
he
but
won all
this,
them chips with the Patriots.
because he
Now he's
didn't.
famous. So now when you're doing an
Get the
interview
fuck you
about your
get away from
book
this.
and your 24-year-old girlfriend who's literally young enough to be your damn
Answer one
grandchild,
question.
like
Told him to stop asking that one question. All of a sudden, we trying to blow it up like, oh, why she butted in for that one question? She never butted in for
aren't you the same one that was
She
questioning
never
Drake
butted in for
texting
no other
Millie Bobby
question.
Brown, but now you want to give a pass to the old white man?
What happened?
Aren't you the same one that was questioning Drake texting Millie Bobby Brown, but now you want to just give a pass to Bill Belichick? Is it
First
the
of
Super
all,
Bowl
that little
rings?
girl was 13 when he did that.
Oh my God. Okay, then when did they meet? G.
Freaky ass dude.
When
That's
did
his
they meet?
father.
Hold on, hold on,
Did,
hold on, hold on, hold
did
on.
Bill meet her when he was 13?
Eh,
Whoa,
think,
whoa, whoa,
I,
whoa.
I think the way they duck that question has people alluding to, did he meet her when she was underage? I personally, I don't get that vibe. I think they met in a way where you would know that she's lining him up for his money. Like maybe she was at a massage parlor, or maybe she was a waitress at his favorite restaurant or something. But something that she knew who he was and inserted herself into his life. And like I said, if the family comes out and is against her, that'll tell me everything I need to know. But right now, I haven't heard anything from the family, and Bill seems happy. I want to try that move myself. I want to lift the girl with my feet. You know what I'm saying? I want to
Bro.
try it. It's a leg press. I ain't did a leg press in a while. So, I'm getting new ideas from Bill, and y'all kicking them in the back.
Word.
Bruh, nah,
Bro, he's getting
we not kicking
played,
him in the
bro.
back.
Man,
We
live
call
your best life, man. Y'all the same dude that talked about Travis Hunter and his shorty. Look what she got him. Your shorty got you a rollie?
bruh,
Your shorty got you a rollie?
we
Your
calling a
shorty got you
spade
a
a
rollie?
spade,
Your
bro.
shorty
Like
got you a rollie?
the Bill
Your shorty got you a rollie?
The Bill
Your
Belichick
shorty
shit
got you a
is
rollie?
it's not right. It's
I
something
don't
not
give
right
a
No,
about
it's
shit,
this.
not.
man.
If
If your
you're sitting
shorty
back,
ain't
if
get
you're
you a
sitting
rollie,
back
y'all
and
ain't got
saying
no,
this looks
y'all ain't got no right to talk about no other body's relationship, man. That's
all right,
between them
okay,
and their
G, but this is the
guys.
topic. This is the topic. If you looking back at this Bill Belichick relationship and you're like, yeah, this looks 100% fine, I'm questioning you now. All right, because if you can't see this as plain as day, bro, I'm really wondering about you. Now I got to look at you like, your equilibrium is off, man, because this is clear that something, I don't know what the something is yet, but just remember the good mister told you something is not right about this. And remember a few years back when he was still coaching the Patriots, your man randomly was walking out of a house before game day with his shirt off, and everybody was like, what's going on with Bill, bro? Apparently, that was when he first met her. That was around the same time when they was, hitting it off. Something ain't right about Bill, and she taking advantage of my man. Maybe it's going both ways. Who knows? But the more I think about it, I'm starting to think maybe Bill got a little dementia or something, and he not really all the way there, bro. She just
Hey,
finessing
here you go, G. Here's a quote from Yahoo Sports. The consensus among people around Belichick, another source said, is that the relationship is, quote, alarming, and Hudson is, quote, a runaway train.
What does that
There
mean?
you go,
What does
bro.
that mean? What does that mean?
It
The
means that
UNC
she's
players gonna know what that means. Too soon? Too soon? My bad. My bad.
The good.
hey, bro. Look, I guess that can be interpreted many ways, man. Bryce might be right on, but I'm looking at it
Bryce
like,
on
yo,
Shannon time. That's what he on.
she about to run away with this man's money. Like she inserted herself into this man's life. Like it's a takeover. Like why
Hold
else would a 24-year-old be with a man in his 70s, bro?
on. And what? How do we define? Like, should we put an age limit on dating now?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't like to police things like that. But we should put a red flag limit on everything. All right, everything should have a
Bro,
red flag limit.
bro
And I'm
this
not saying the age might be the first red flag, right? Her hushing the greatest football coach in the middle of an interview. Not only that, we talk about the football coach that was the best in history at ducking interview questions. He was literally the best in history at ducking interview questions. And she got to stand up and say, no, don't answer that one. No, I don't want to hear that, lady. My man knows what he's doing with these questions. Something's not right, bro. I'm telling you.
Listen, man, I've seen it before. A lot of these tough, big bravado guys, they be soft simps in real life, man. And all you're seeing is a 70-year-old simp. That's it. That's happy. That's happy. He's happy to give his money away. Is that alarming? Probably. But like I said, the family is probably due to get the money eventually. If they not complaining, I'm not complaining just yet. But as soon as one family member complains, not nobody in his circle, because she probably cutting people out of Bill's circle. She probably saying, "What you here for? Nah, you gotta go." You know what I'm saying? When the family start complaining, then I'll give her a red flag. But for right now, No harm, no foul.
Right, when the family starts complaining, it's usually too late, T. You want to wait till it's too late.
Right? Bruh.
Damn, man. You want to see Bill.
Crazy
You
work
want to
out
see
here.
Bill get totally broken before you ready to call a red flag. Come on, man.
This is not Minority Report. We cannot convict someone before a crime.
Sure.
Like, I know it's going to happen. I do. But
and G, you wearing the Browns hat like Bill Belichick didn't coach your former newfound team, bro. You gotta stand up to Bill, bro. What are you doing out here, bro?
Bill left us for the Jets, and then he left the Jets for the Pets. So
Yo, my man been a Browns fan for a whole day and knows their whole history. I gotta give you respect for that. I gotta give you respect for that, bro. My man been studying up all day on the Browns.
You know what I'm saying? Go Shedeur Sanders, my new quarterback.
Let's call the boys is a sick hashtag.
Hey, yo, let's call the boys is crazy, bro. Hey, D money out of pocket, bro.
Hey, that should be the slogan for Amtrak.
Oh.
Let's call the boys is insane though. Hey, D money, that's crazy work. But yo, this is what happened to Bill, man? That's what I'm leaving this thinking, bro. What happened to Bill, man? The great Bill Belly, man.
It's William now.
That's probably what she called him. William, don't answer that question, William.
Yeah, we'll end it on this, man. If I hopefully live to be 74, 70, whatever Bill Belichick is, and y'all see me with a 24-year-old, it's a red flag. Say, help me.
No, it's not, man.
They said
because you want to be in the old team still. Man, blink twice if you by yourself.
Rome, you get a whiff of that co-ed box, man.
Exactly. He talking that shit.
Y'all crazy.
Mr. right now talking to us.
Y'all crazy, bro. That age gap is sick, bro. That man better just start coaching football, and that's it.
Man, get your money up. That's what Bill trying to do.
Dog, the only salvation for Bill right now is to go have an undefeated season and win the Natty. That's the only thing that's saving Bill's legacy right now.
Right? He might flip the whole thing. I might be like, yo, that's maybe he's going to something.
Yeah, William is crazy. William Belichick is crazy. All
right. Let's keep it pushing, man. Let's get back to some. Let's keep it on the football topic. G, man, you mentioned it earlier. You got the hat. You're a newfound Browns fan apparently, and you're claiming that Shedeur Sanders is going to be your quarterback. I find that hard to believe, considering that much like you, the Browns don't know what the hell they're doing. That QB room is a hot mess. You got old ass Joe Flacco. You got Deshaun Watson, which I'm gonna just leave that alone. Then you got Dylan Gabriel and your boy Shedeur Sanders, who fell all the way to the 5th round, which is insane. But before we talk about his slide, I just want to ask you, G, what are the Browns really going to do at quarterback? And do you really believe that Shedeur is going to be the QB1?
First of all, right, Watson is hurt. He's not playing next year anyways. Because he tore the other ACL from the other foot, from the other leg. So he's not even playing. So that's not the question. Earlier, after the season ended, what the owner said, I regret ever giving this guy that fucking contract. So it's not like, okay, so they're trying to find a way out of Watson. And then Joe Flacco is just here like to be the mentor. And then Gabriel, who the fuck is this guy again?
He's the guy they drafted before him, bro.
Yeah. What are you talking about? From Oregon, but what the fuck he do?
Hold up, you still got Kenny Pickett.
I forgot. Oh
yeah, you got Kenny Pickett over there.
And you acting like those contracts are gonna hurt the Browns. Like these guys ain't gonna get cut come preseason time, come training camp. Who you gonna cut? None of those contracts are gonna hurt you. And how many times don't we hear during the preseason that a 3rd string, 4th string gets cut? Maybe not a 3rd string, but a 4th string. But once you have all these quarterbacks, a third round quarterback, you don't think he's gonna get cut?
You sound delusional, bro. Just like with the Bill Belichick shit, bro. There's absolutely no. They don't know what the hell they're doing, bro. Why would you sign Kenny Pickett? Why would you sign Joe Flacco? Why
Montana.
would you draft Dylan Gabriel in the
The
third
same guy
round
who told
and
me
then watch Shedeur
Mikey was
Sanders
the
fall to
second
the fifth and
coming
then
of
draft
Joe
him? It makes
Montana.
no sense.
What you want me to tell you?
They clearly don't know what they're doing. Just like when they
Bro,
gave Deshaun Watson
this is the
the
league telling
contract.
Shedeur Sanders, calm the fuck down. We're gonna humble you, and we're gonna let them draft you later on. We're gonna need this money for the TV ratings, and that's what happened. He got drafted day 3.
The ratings did go crazy. Some of the best
And
day
people
2
are
and day 3
watching
ratings
the
of the draft.
draft at 12 o'clock in the fucking afternoon on a Sunday. When the fuck has anybody woken up on a Sunday to watch the NFL draft?
Bro, it used to start at like 10 in the morning on a Sunday or something
Ain't
like
nobody
that,
Nah, but
man,
watching
or
that
a
shit.
hold on.
Saturday.
With G's point, bro, this was the best day 2 and day 3 ratings in the history of the NFL draft, bro. From what I read.
You're gonna just minute that? Like the
So-
league knows what it does, bro. This is the same league that told Bill Belichick to fuck off. The same league that
Wait, so
pushed
G,
him to the
G,
level.
you think this was the owners doing this, or do you think this was the
Yeah,
GM?
man. If you look at his interviews, right, during the Columbine, right, you look at those interviews. My man was mad arrogant. Like he sounded like his dad, but the difference between him and his dad, like Deion Sanders was the man in college, and he proved it. Hold on.
But I see what you're getting at. I see what you're getting at. You know, and Shedeur was somewhat arrogant in the interviews. Apparently, some of those team interviews didn't go to other team facilities.
Like, think about it. Deion Sanders paid for Florida State when Florida State was one of those prime schools in college. This kid played in fucking Buffalo and Jackson State. Programs that are not worth at the bottom of the bottom from both aspects as HBCU school and a D1 program. Bottom of the bottom. So, like, for him to, like, when you hear this, like, well, you're going to, if you want me, this and that, like, all right, man, what coach and what GM is going to deal with that? From a rookie that's, like, that arrogant. And we all know, right? The quarterback is the face of your fucking team. And the quarterback, you know what owners love to hear about quarterbacks. Look at Watson.
All right, so
Watson remember, Watson, the Browns GMs didn't want Watson. The owner came through and said, yo, I'm gonna give him that. The same reason why the Browns owner is giving these GMs and these HQs, the head coach, another chance still, because he fucked up by letting Watson go into that building.
Do we think Shedeur did wrong in this pre-draft process? Like, was he?
Yes.
Because
the one thing I'm gonna blame Deion on this is, like, when Deion talked about his programs, he made sure they were all humble during the process, during the collegiate level, right? Talking about you can't be late to practice, can't be late to this and that. But he got out of that when it came to the drafting process. He let his son get arrogant for no reason. We should have kept him humble.
Nah, I think Deion let Shedeur be Shedeur on purpose. I think as a father, your son gets to a certain point, and you kind of gotta let him, be a man. And if he's got to get humbled, he's got to get humbled. But the narrative that the league decided to go against them, I don't know if I believe that 100%. I think there is some there might be some smoke to that fire, but I don't know if I believe that 100%. But and I'll let y'all answer your thoughts on why you think Shedeur slid. But my final thought on him going to the Browns is, I don't think there's any guarantee that he starts. I don't think there's any guarantee that he makes the team. I think Shedeur is a great quarterback. I think he should have went way sooner. But if the league indeed put the word out on him, I don't think going to the Browns in that situation that makes absolutely no sense, no matter what G tries to say, is a good situation for Shedeur at all. And I hate this for him.
Hey, Full Circle 89 making a good point right here. Colorado AP top 25, bro. He took a 1-10 team and made him relevant. That's a fact, bro. And T was in the group chat talking crazy about Shedeur a couple weeks back. T was like, nobody cared about the Colorado. I had to remind T, you was up at 12 midnight watching them boys every weekend. All right. So let's not act like they didn't have that impact on the college football landscape, bro. And then if this was Arch Manning and Peyton and Eli was directing his career next year, so he doesn't, play for a bum team. And Arch Manning was out there talking about, I'm gonna come change your franchise. I'm gonna change the culture. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure it gets the same reception that Shedeur got, bro.
But
and
why?
That's probably my only issue with it all.
But why?
Why doesn't it get the same reception?
Yeah.
Because he's Arch. Because one's name is Arch and one's name is Shedeur.
Right. No, it's not the first name. It's the last name. It's the last name. One comes from football royalty.
They both come from football royalty.
One has multiple generations of quarterbacking. If Shiloh's if Shedeur was playing corner, okay, we got to trust the genetics. We got to trust. All right, even if you struggle, your father can help you out. Listen, what I try to tell y'all, what round grade did I have on Shedeur?
You had third. You said third.
All right, I always had a third round grade on Shedeur. To say he turned the franchise around is ridiculous because we say quarterbacks turn the franchise around when they either transfer to a school or they sign to a school out of high school, right? Not when an entire team comes to another school, right? You didn't turn a franchise around. You just brought your team with you, right? That's all you did. You didn't turn the franchise around. Like, you didn't make Colorado players better. You still played with Travis Hunter. If you went there and you took nobody with you but yourself and maybe your brother, I would have said, all right, bro, he turned that school around. No, bro, coaches came, linemen came, running back came, other players with Jimmy Horn came, Travis Hunter came. Bro, so to say that Shedeur turned all he did was turn the TV ratings around. That's all he did. He turned the TV ratings around. And will he play this year? Shedeur is absolutely not getting cut. I don't know what that means for Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. They're going to have to battle it out. But when the owner comes down and says, hey, draft this guy, because if you watch the video, nobody was happy that the pick was made. The coach and the GM were kind of, bro, that's an owner pick. And you know why it's an owner pick? Because look at G's hat. You know how many tickets? Think about it. You know how many tickets they're going to sell in the preseason? Just in the preseason. The stadium might sell out in the preseason. Some people might take a trip. If your team is playing Cleveland, you might fly to Cleveland to see Shedeur play in the preseason.
He got the third best-selling jersey as a rookie right now.
Bro, he's not getting cut. Whether he makes the roster or practice squad, I don't know, but they're not cutting him. I don't care. He could go out there and throw 10 picks every game, stink up the practice. Bro, his brand power is too much. He's not getting cut. Now, can he play football? For my money, I think he's better than Dylan Gabriel. I don't think Dylan Gabriel is going to let him easily take that spot. That's an older guy, 6 years of college experience. I don't think that's an easy task. Kenny Pickett has won games in the NFL. Joe Flacco is clearly better than the entire room, and he's old and washed. But
who's QB1 week 1? That question's for everybody.
It's probably Flacco or Pickett. Like, I can't imagine unless Gabriel lights it up. I personally don't see Shedeur having the power to turn a franchise around. Like, that's crazy.
So you think Gabriel will light it up over the summer, but Shedeur won't?
No, I think he has better odds. I think the guy that played in college for 6 years, the guy that's older, has a better chance of catching up to NFL speed, understanding the NFL game faster than the guy that is probably a little bit stressed out right now.
Man, look, Shedeur starting this season, bro. I don't know who started week 1, Rome. I'm going to tell you who's starting week 17. It's Shedeur Sanders, bro. T makes a lot of good points, and we've been talking about this over the past few weeks. I've been making it a point to point this out, that the landscape of sports has changed completely, right? And it's always been a business, but it was once the business of winning. Now, it's equally as it is the business of winning, it's the business of marketing, bro. And if you have a quarterback like Shedeur, who is just money bags and waiting, right? Why not give him the time to develop and see what that becomes, bro? It's inevitable at this point for the Browns, bro. And I think most owners probably understood this, and this is probably why the owners didn't want him. They didn't want a player that was going to come in instantly and be bigger than their entire establishment, right? And that's what Shedeur brings. Now, on the flip side, if you have a player that's that polarizing and that can bring that many eyes, that much attention, and for some reason people care about that much, and then he starts to back it up with the play, now we are talking about legendary status, bro. So and you're talking about being able to get to legendary status before your play is even legendary, bro. If he can just be, let's take Madden ratings, right? If Shedeur can just be an 80 overall quarterback by his second season, bro, the Browns valuation's going through the roof, bro. G gonna have a Browns hat, jersey, t-shirt, everything by next season. And that is something that an owner of a football team, especially if you're a football team like the Browns and you've been in the dumps and you've seen, your revenue. I mean, football revenue's always going up, but you've seen your team specifically not reach the heights of others. This is a really big opportunity. And like I said, if Shedeur can just back it up with just a little bit of good play, we could be in for a crazy ride, bro. Unlike T, I did not have a third round grade on Shedeur. I had a first round grade on Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is a very, very polished quarterback. And I think eventually it's going to show itself in the league. The question is going to be opportunity and how good that opportunity is. And that's what I'm worried about with the Browns, if the opportunity itself comes to fruition.
You also had a first round grade on Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I did, buddy. I did. All right. And just like the GMs I missed. Do you want me to tell you who you had a first round grade on? It was Spencer Rattler. All right, so get out of here. I don't want to. Don't pull up my first round grade. We can pull up first round grade.
Hey, listen, Spencer Rattler's better than Shedeur.
Don't die on the Spencer Rattler hill tonight.
Hold on. I'm not. I do want to give your point a little bit of credit, right? Because if you swap the picks, right, you swap Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel. Some people might say this is a generational draft for the Browns. If you just swap those two picks, and it's the same guys, the pick shouldn't matter, right? It's the same guys hitting the roster. That's only. The round only matters for contract, but same guys in the roster. And if you swap them, somebody would say, "Oh, they did a great job. They got a lot of value." But at the end of the day, bro, this is why I'm not giving them a first round grade. It's the same reason I didn't give Kenny Pickett a first round grade. These guys are not ready to come into the NFL and play. If Jordan Love had to sit, these guys aren't better than Jordan Love in college. If Patrick Mahomes had to sit, they're not better than Patrick Mahomes in college, bro. If guys have to come in and sit and develop. Why would you throw Shedeur to the wolves? Like that's the worst thing possible. To throw a young quarterback out there that's under a microscope and tell him, "Hey, bro, go out there and perform. Go out there." And you can't go out. Listen, hold up. You can't go out there and play like you played in Toronto. I mean, I played in Colorado. You can't go out there and go 13-12. To turn the franchise around, you cannot go 500 ball. That's going to get a coach fired. So
see, this is the thing, and this is what I don't like. This is why I said I don't like him going to the Browns. Like the whole we've thrown this out here too much already. The whole turn a franchise around, save a franchise. Like how long have the Browns been the Browns? When was the last time the Browns made the playoffs? When was the last time the Browns won a playoff game?
2 years ago.
The Browns.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Who random little runs there.
You gotta remember, Joe Flacco took him there. Remember before he went to the Colts last year?
Listen,
it was Joe Flacco.
The Browns have killed every quarterback that they've had in the last 20 years, maybe more. Killed everyone. Brandon Weeden, Colt McCoy, Baker Mayfield, like guys that have went.
No, you can't say everybody because you gotta remember, Johnny Manziel did that to himself.
And guess what grade I had on Johnny Manziel? Third. You want me to post the receipts? Johnny Manziel was a crazy draft too. Like y'all get excited over the hype, bro. Hype don't win you games as a quarterback.
Nah, bro. Nah, I'm not getting excited over hype. You know what I'm getting excited over? The best completion percentage in the history of college football. I've been telling y'all from the jump. One of the number one things I look when I judge quarterbacks is completion percentage. You know why? Because completion percentage travels, bro. If you can complete passes, that travels to the league typically.
You know what else travels? Taking sacks. If you take sacks in college, you're absolutely taking sacks.
You know what else? But you know what doesn't travel? Colorado Buffalo's O-line. All right. If you take that O-line, you're getting sacked no matter where you play at. All right. If they give my man an O-line, give him some protection, you got the best completion percentage in the history of college football, bro. I'm willing, if I'm a NFL GM, I'm willing to bet on that, especially considering that we already know it's a crapshoot to get a quarterback to begin with, bro.
What Cam Ward tell him about that completion percentage?
Bruh, Cam Ward is not a surefire. Cam Ward would have been the 4th quarterback taken in last year's draft, maybe 5th, bruh. So
Bro.
Cam Ward's not some sort of surefire prospect. He just got he got the luck of the draw of what draft he came out in. But if we being honest, bro, it's not like Cam Ward some sort of can't miss prospect, bro.
Yeah, I didn't like
Shedeur
Cam Ward
Sanders to
neither.
me,
That
I've
wasn't
been
my
saying
number
this
one
from the jump.
quarterback.
He's a better prospect than Cam Ward, in my opinion, bro. And I could be wrong about this. Sure, it's an imperfect science. When you tell me somebody got the best completion percentage in the history of college football, I'm willing to bet on that, bro. Because at the end of the day, you have to bet on some sort of traits. And if it's all physical traits, that's how you end up with a Brandon Whedon. That's how you end up with a what's the boy that went to with Will Levis, right? That's how you end up with one of those if all you're betting on is physical traits and how far they can throw the ball.
I didn't like Will Levis. I didn't like Malik Willis. Cam Ward.
Sounds like Anthony Richardson. That's what the coach did.
To me,
all traits.
This draft, and I think this hurts Shedeur too. This is not a good draft class. All the quarterbacks are coming out next year. So I think a lot of teams said, let's just pass up the headache and hold out for next season. Because the Steelers said we're going to roll the dice with Aaron Rodgers. Crazy. But at the end of the day.
Well, he signed?
No, but what else they going to do?
Oh, yeah.
The way, even if they say we're going to go Mason Rudolph, like, we're taking that over the 1-year experiment of Shedeur.
That's insane. And Mike Tomlin gonna look like a dummy if Shedeur works out. If Shedeur works out, Mike Tomlin, and y'all know I've been the biggest Mike Tomlin fan, bro. But for the first time in the history of Mike Tomlin's career, I will say this: if Shedeur works out, fire Mike Tomlin, bro. Fire him because he had the shot, bro.
All right, I ain't gonna say too much more about this, but why are we doubting the likes of Mike Tomlin that could have drafted him? Tom Brady's associated with the Raiders, could have drafted him. Kellen Moore is a hell of a coordinator. He knows quarterbacks. He could have got him to the Cowboys. I mean, they went with Joe Milton. Like, why are we doubting some of the guys that have had success in the league?
But the Cowboys couldn't sign him because they gave Dak that contract last year.
But
so
the reason we're doubting them, T, is because all those same people you named passed up on Brock Purdy, who week after NFL week you tell me is one of the top 10 QBs. So I think all the people that pass up on him, to Bryce's point, are wrong. I think Shedeur Sanders is also a first-round grade, and I think eventually when he finds his way out of Cleveland, he'll prove that. But it's no way that he's turning Cleveland around. Cleveland is a trash franchise. None of those QBs in Cleveland are going to do anything. And it's really all hyperbole. It's really all just a bunch of what ifs at this point. But the one thing that's been consistent is that the Browns have always been trash. Yeah, they made the playoffs, a couple times in the past few years. I think they've won 3 playoff games since I've been alive, bro. Like cut it. None of those quarterbacks are going to save the Browns. The Browns don't even know what they're doing at quarterback, hence why they have all these quarterbacks.
And Rome, you're right, bro. And this is the other thing about this is, and this is T, I get what you're saying, T. Why would all these established folks pass on them, right? But this is why you start to think maybe there was some sort of collusion with the owners, bro. Maybe this goes beyond the football decision makers and it goes to the next level. We already know the Browns ownership is out there, bro. They doing that shit all the time. So if anybody would break the collusion of the owners, it would be the Browns, right? But if this one day comes out that the owners decided, yo, we about to humble this kid, right? Think about how unshocking that would be. Like, he's polarizing already. You know how polarizing he is? Somebody was trying to humble him on the day of his draft, bro. They prank calling the man, recording the prank call. His team's recording the prank call. The kids that are prank calling him are recording him because he's just that polarizing, bro. People want to humble him from day one already, bro. So if that's the case, why wouldn't – I mean, if it comes out that the owners colluded on this, nobody's shocked, bro.
The NFL is talent over everything. We just watched the Ravens draft a guy that clearly has a history of sexual assault. He looks like a predator. The NFL is talent over everything.
Isaiah Bond didn't get drafted.
Who?
Isaiah Bond from Texas. He didn't get drafted.
Isaiah Bond might go to jail.
So it ain't talent over everything then.
Isaiah Bond might.
Well, he might not be available, is what T saying.
Yeah, he might not even can suit up. But at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna say this about the quarterback position and your evaluations going forward. We are past the era where you can just stand in the pocket and throw a football. If you cannot move the chains with your legs when a play breaks down at this point in time, bro, you're not a first-round quarterback. Period. You didn't run the 40. You set out the combine. You and your father actively said which teams you didn't want to go to, and your tape to everyone that I respect that watches quarterbacks says the tape is just
That's not what everybody says that watches quarterbacks, bro.
All right.
That's not what everybody says that watches quarterbacks, bro.
I said everybody that I respect said, nah.
Who you respect?
Right, because let's run through them because, like, maybe you don't. Maybe all the people that said he had good tape, you just decided not to respect because there's a whole bunch of people out there that said you don't respect Louis Riddick.
No.
All right, then. No. Like, you're not respecting Louis Riddick, then fine. But like, I respect Louis Riddick.
I don't respect.
That's crazy.
I don't respect like Louis Riddicks and Mel Kipers and Todd McShay's. I respect the guys that played the position that can look at a film and say, "Oh, he missed that read. Oh, he didn't set his protection. Oh, he had sloppy footwork." I respect the guys that know the quarterback position. I'm not going to listen to Mel Kiper and Todd McShay and Louis Riddick who bombed on multiple quarterbacks from year to year to year to year to year to year. No, I'm going to listen to the guys that say he has the tools, he has the mentality.
So you're going to listen to Chris Sims?
No, I listen to JT O'Sullivan.
He played the position.
You going with JT O'Sullivan over Chris Sims? All right, so we going with the bum quarterbacks. All right, we going with the bums. We gonna listen to some of the bum quarterbacks, not all the bum quarterbacks. All right, we picking.
How about Dan Orlovsky? We're listening to Dan Orlovsky. I hate Dan Orlovsky. I think he's trash.
But for every legit evaluator that says Shedeur isn't it, there's one that says he is it, bro. And that's how it goes every single year with quarterbacks, unless you're a surefire prospect. There's one surefire prospect every 3 to 4 years. There was quarterback evaluators last year saying Jaden Daniels wasn't going to be nothing. And look how that turned out. So when it comes to that, bro, I can't really listen to that noise, bro.
Nobody said that.
Yes, they did, bro. Come on. Okay. Yes, they absolutely did say that. There were people that had Jaden Daniels.
People were definitely saying Drake May over Jaden Daniels.
Hold on. The story's not finished on Drake May. Drake May had a good season for the. Yeah,
I'm not saying Drake May is bad at all. I'm just saying a lot of.
If you think there were people that weren't saying that about Jaden Daniels, that he wasn't going to be the top quarterback in that draft or wasn't going to be a success, you're wrong, bro. And it's probably some of the same evaluators you claim to respect were probably saying that about Jaden Daniels. I'd be interested to see what JT O'Sullivan said about Jaden Daniels.
I'll pull it up for you and send it to the group chat.
Yeah, do that. Let's see what JT O'Sullivan said.
But Josh,
since that's who we respect, JT O'Sullivan to the world.
Hey, wasn't he a backup for the 49ers, bro? That's bias as hell, bro. Like,
bias is like
I'm gonna pull up Gus Farrat's thoughts. So,
listen, like I said, Tom Brady, his franchise had a chance to take him, needed a quarterback, they passed on him. And Louis
remember, oh boy, they just signed boy from Seattle.
When Todd McShay was a GM, he was arguably one of the worst we've ever seen. And y'all can laugh at the names, but at the end of the day, y'all couldn't tell me what route combination goes with a 3-step drop, 5-step drop, 7-step drop. Y'all couldn't tell me how to attack 2-man, single high, closed field, open field. Like, bro, I'm watching quarterbacks every day, and I'm not hitting on all of them, but my track record for quarterbacks, like I told y'all, Baker was a dog, Darnold was a dog. When people gave up on him, my track record for quarterbacks is a little bit higher than everybody on the show. Just a little bit.
Bro, you said
I don't. What's my track record on quarterback?
Dog too, bro. I don't want to hear that.
I mean, bro.
Also, bro, I hear everything that you're saying, T, and I just feel like if that's the case, bro, then you would know that Shedeur is not a 3rd-round grade.
What does he do to take him, all right, out of throwing very accurately in a clean pocket, which you don't see that many clean pockets in the NFL. So I don't.
Which he didn't see that many clean pockets in college. So the fact that he's known as a guy that can throw in a clean pocket, even though he had one of the worst offensive lines in college, says something.
Watch, bro, and stop just looking at completion percentages. Look at the throws where he left yards on the field because he underthrew a guy on the deep shot. Like he has a slightly above average arm. He can't run. He can't. Hey, if y'all maybe it works out. I hope it works out for him. But to me, Jared Stidham. He looks like Jared Stidham. He looks like his prime. If to me, if he reaches the best he can be, is Andy Dalton. But maybe y'all see something I don't. Maybe y'all see Kurt Warner.
Who's
I
better,
mean,
Shedeur
Andy
or
Dalton
Daniel
wasn't
Jones?
terrible. The
Dang.
Red Rifle.
Easily better than Shedeur. Easily. Bigger arm, faster, more mobile. We don't know if Shedeur can process because his offense wasn't conventional. His offense didn't. That's another reason he dropped. That Colorado offense don't translate to the NFL. But hey, I don't know what I'm talking about. We'll see.
Man said T's track record isn't being tracked. That's why.
Hey,
it's easy to have a great track record with that joint not tracked. That's a fact.
The group chat got all the receipts. So when y'all was slobbing all these sorry quarterbacks, and I'm just like, nah.
Which group chat? Because the group chat is broken. There's like 3 different like groups in that fucking chat. I got like fucking 3 messages. I get like a single T, single Rome. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about me today for? Oh yeah, I'm like, wait, it's not about me. It's about another bullshit.
The only quarterback that y'all can say I love that, I mean, he's still young. I thought he should have sat at least a year, maybe 2. It's Spencer Rattler, but we'll see how it goes.
It's a few more, my guy.
Anthony Richardson, you think he needed to sit?
Huh?
You didn't think Richardson from the Colts needed to sit?
No, he absolutely needed to sit. What do you mean? He only played.
That's what I asked. You said the only one you thought was Trippy Red.
I told y'all CJ Stroud was better than Bryce Young, and y'all told me I was crazy.
He was real high on Trey Lance. People started to bring the names out, bro. Hey, I ain't even gonna say that. I'm just letting the names come out, bro. That's why you gotta let the chat, bro.
Bring them out.
Bring them out.
Where's Trey Lance now?
Trey Lance still in the NFL.
Oh my God, the bar is crazy. The lowering of the bar is crazy right now.
Hold on, I'm not moving the bar. If Shedeur is still in the NFL at year 4, year 5, that would be a win because we've only seen maybe 3 quarterbacks drafted that late. Who was it? Dak, Purdy, and there's maybe one more that's been drafted that late and had success. Bro, the odds are stacked extremely against him, but I really hope it works out for him. But I don't see it. Like I don't see it right now. I don't think he needs to play a snap next year.
Hey, Lawson Finding,
I agree with you on that team because my personal opinion is
out to you last show
to address Sanders. He had to sit his rookie year. I didn't think the Giants should have started him. I think they should have drafted him, but I didn't think they should have started him either. I thought that he was a 1-year sit down project. Let him get it to have pull that Jordan Love kind of situation where he sat behind experienced QB, and then you let him roll out the season later. But I agree with you on that one. I don't think he needs to start this year. And if you do start him, I'll go to what Bryce says, week 17, where there's like your season's already made up, whether you're going to be in the postseason or whether you're going to have a high draft pick. And at that point,
all right.
Play.
Yeah, so we gotta move on from this. Hey, real quick though, Lost and Finding said the chat saw tonight. That's a fact, bro. I don't know if they reached out to you last show, Lost and Finding, but we try and do something at your restaurant, man. We got to get in contact with you, bro. We try and make that trip out there and tap in, bro. So we gonna hit. You gotta to get you some sort of DM or something.
Yeah, you gotta DM us if you on Twitter, Instagram, something. Let us know. But like I was saying, we got to keep it pushing. Last thing I want to say on this is Shedeur Sanders is obviously a star. This is by far the most we've talked about the Browns on this show probably ever. I don't think we've ever had a topic on the Browns, and if we did, it definitely didn't go this long.
He's first day as a fan, bro. We talking about his team.
All right, but let's get some quick takes on the NBA playoffs real quick before we get out of here tonight. It's been a wild one. Let's start with T's Bucks, man. What was your thought on that last game tonight, and your team getting ousted?
Hey, I was watching the end of that game. The Bucks were up. My son told me they was going to win. I said, no, they're going to lose, bro. As a coach, as a fan, I know this. Bad teams find a way to lose, and that's exactly what they did. They went out there. They found a way to make it to overtime with the lead. They found a way to still get overtime. Then they got the lead in overtime and dropped the ball out of bounds. The biggest thing about the Bucks is, man, it's time to shake it up. It's time to break it up. Unfortunately, Dame took an Achilles injury. What is Dame? 34, 35. My heart go out to Dame. That's a hell of an injury to have on the back end of your career. That's a tough one. And bro, you came back from if you never would have came back, you arguably would have been fresh for next season. And now like I said, my heart go out to Dame. But the Bucks, it's a wrap, man. Stick a fork in them. I'm glad the series is over. I was tired of watching them. I really like to package Giannis up and see how many future draft picks we could get.
Yeah, that sounds about where the Bucks are at. Gee, man, I need to get your thoughts on that Cleveland Cavaliers Miami Heat series, man. What the hell was going on with your Heat?
Fuck, man, no Jimmy, man, and Pat Riley, count your motherfucking days. You need to go with Bill, man. Get yourself some hot young thing. Get your life together.
Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a shame what the Heat did in that last game, and I do want to propose a new rule change. Right, if you lose by 40 plus in the regular season, every player should be fined, and their money should go to the other team to be split evenly, because it's a bad product. Like, fans paid to see that, and y'all just laid down. Like I said in the chat, bro, they bent over, hiked the skirt up, no lube. If you lose by 30 in the playoffs, it should be the same thing, but double the fine. Like, we got to start charging these players that are low managing just for the sake of the game, for the sake of the fans, because it should be at no point in time when you turn on a playoff game, right? That's you got to play in games to avoid this.
Well, that's where I was gonna go with that. I feel like, the Heat shot their shot in the play-in. I feel like that was their chip. That was what they wanted. And then when it got to being down 3-0 in the actual playoffs, there was no fight left. But I agree with you, T. That might have been the worst NBA playoff game in my lifetime. Like, I can't
55?
think of
Did it
one
ever get
off
to
the top of my
60 by
head that
any
was
chance?
worse.
Did it ever get to 60? Because it ended at 55.
Bro, losing by 60 in the NBA, the coach should have to be terminated and banned for at least a year.
He going
Yo,
off
you're not about to
rails.
do that to Eric Spoelstra. It's not his fault. The motherfuckers.
My man said terminated and banned
Banned.
for a year. His player pops Achilles. He should be terminated and banned for a year because they lose.
Listen,
I feel
man.
you though. I feel you, but I do got one overall comment on this whole NBA playoffs, bro. And T, I think you did make a good point talking about kind of like how it's just a suffering product, bro. The NBA, out of all the major sports, bro, the NBA has by far the worst officiating, bro. And it's not close, bro. And I'm tired of this
you're
shit, bro.
bugging. You're bugging.
It's by far, and I'm talking. And we went through that whole shit the last NFL season, crazy calls in the player. I know we saw that, bro. No comparison to the NBA, bro. Like, by far the worst officiating of all time. Like, bro, being fresh off March Madness and seeing how evenly those games were officiated, and then coming to watch this damn NBA playoffs where it's like, dog, depending on your clout in the league, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, I'm watching Draymond just elbow Bama's as he's getting up off the ground. I'm like, yo, what are we doing here, bro? The worst officiating of all the major sports, and I'm tired of it, bro. And it's one of the many reasons that the viewership is down year after year. Maybe it's one of the smaller ones, but it's definitely one of the ones, bro. And that's who I need to see banned and fined is some of these refs. When they did send, it's crazy because the NFL sent a couple refs down. One of them was one of the female refs that was real popular. They demoting refs in the NFL. We need to start demoting some of these NBA refs to the G League, bro. Because this shit it's a disgrace, bro. In fact, maybe when they get to the playoffs, they should bring in all new refs. I don't want to see none of them. I don't want to see Gucci Mane clone. I don't want to see the dude that tries to steal the show when he's announcing the reviews, the cam reviews. I hate that dude. What is the one dude's name, bro? He always trying to steal the show and give some sort of elaborate breakdown of why the call is being reversed. Man, shut up, bro. You a ref. Be a ref. I can't stand the NBA officiating. I'm done with it, bro.
They're still doing the last 2-minute report in the NBA,
bro. You seen the last 2-minute report come out about the Pistons versus Knicks. Obvious foul in the corner, bro. Everybody can see the obvious foul, bro. Maybe they want the Knicks to win. Who knows what the agenda is? But to not call that foul is egregious, bro. And then on the NBA, shame on you, NBA. We got all this replay everywhere, but you can't replay shit in the last 2 minutes as obvious, or in the last 10 seconds that's obvious, bro. I'm done with it, bro.
Yeah, now that was an egregious thing. And to your point about the refs, Bryce, the NBA officiating is gone completely off the rails. It's been bad for like a decade. But I did want to ask your thoughts on the Knicks Pistons series overall. You already touched on the obvious missed call, but what are your thoughts on just that series as a whole?
Man, the series is compelling, bro. And Cade Cunningham is emerging, and I love to see young players, start that path to stardom, to true stardom. I think in the next couple of years, we can see Cade as one of those guys as not only a perennial All Star, but a perennial Eastern Conference Finals competitor. Maybe he even sneaks into a Finals one day. I love what I'm seeing from Cade. I also like what I'm seeing from the Knicks as well. I mean, they fighting after a season where they was off injured, and I think they showing considerable fight. I think this had the makings of a legendary series, and we were robbed by that from some of the worst officiating in the history of sports.
All right, and final topic, just a quick take from everybody, real quick. Nuggets Clippers playing right now. Series is tied 2-2. I want to get y'all's thoughts on that series and who's going to win it. I'll start with you, G.
I said prior to the start of the season is going to be Nuggets in 7 because I just can't see Jokic not win the first round. He's that much of a superstar.
T.
My MVP.
I got the Nuggets, and I think originally I said the Nuggets would win at 5, based on Harden not coming to play. But Harden proved me wrong, man. So shout out to Harden, respect to Harden, and I do think this is kind of legacy stuff for Harden right now. So if he is able to get past Joker and make a run, that'd be good for his legacy. Some people think he's a top 3, 4, 5 shooting guard all the time. I don't, but if he makes a run, there could be a case for that.
Man, put some respect on my name with my takes, man. I'm the one that said Harden was a top 3, 4 shooting guard of all time, all right? And I think that Harden, like I said, when we talked about this series, the most disrespected player of our generation, no question, bro. Harden is the one that changed the game that Steph gets credit for. It was really hard. And all them step backs everybody's doing, 1-2 step back into a 3. That's all James Harden. I know they down right now. Looks like Nuggets is up 16. I'm still taking the Clippers to win the series.
Ooh, okay. Well, I think this was a great show tonight, fellas. You know how we end every show. This I gotta say this before we go though. This is the best late night show on the net. If you tuned in tonight, you probably agree. This is a great show. Tune in next week. If you're out there right now, hit that like, subscribe button. We live every Tuesday. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, all that. Anything anybody else want to get off?
Go Yankees. Fuck the Mets. Fuck the Dodgers. Fuck the Nats. Fuck Boston. Fuck the Orioles. Fuck the Jays. Fuck Tampa. And most importantly, fuck Houston.
Hey, tune in next week, and I guarantee you'll probably have one of those teams' hats on. Y'all know how we end every show. Sports for the culture.
Sports for the culture.